My name's Spencer, and I'll be here talking about my computer because, why not? This is for my personal project. Um, why I chose to build my computer was to do art and gaming, which I haven't really done that much to do with right now, and some other reasons why. But I started off with figuring out what I wanted, which is to do with the graphics card and the RAM and the SSD. But the main thing I had to start with was the processor, which is the Core i7-870K from Intel. And then I went from there, going through all the parts that I needed. And then the last part that I went for was the hard drive. So I started off with the processor, went with the motherboard, the graphics card, the cooler, then the RAM, the hard drive, the SSD, and then a good power supply at the end because I had to go up from. I was gonna go. It's always good to get a good. It's always good to get a good power source because you at least if you have these kind of machine components like a 1080, RAM that's 300 megahertz, and a pretty fast SSD, you'd at least like a gold plus rating. And if for people that don't understand what that means, that pretty much means that everything has a rating, so it goes bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and then diamond. No, I'm sorry, diamond doesn't count. It just goes up to platinum, and platinum's the best. I started off trying to figure out what to do, which was to do with PC Picker, and I ended up buying stuff from Amazon, Newegg, Memory Express, Mike's Computer Shop, a lot of Canadian sites. And then, the challenge for this challenge to build my, a question comes up a lot on the internet and that kind of stuff for computer building is it better to build it or is it better to buy it? And I don't know, it's kind of really your choice if you want to, but I don't know. It's kind of what you're going for. If you're going for a really expensive build, you could probably look up on NZXT's website and you could probably make a pretty good one. But they kind of do in the middle of it, where it's like you can build it, you can put the parts you want in it, but they build it for you and it comes with a warranty. But it's all NZXT products. So like the cooler that I have is the NZXT Kraken Pro 2. So, and then after I figured out the parts, it was about the case that I wanted. So I went for this case was because it was the cheapest. What's the name? Tempered glass. It's the cheapest tempered glass case, and it's really solid, and I've heard really good reviews about it, and it was a pretty good budget build case. So, I went for that. That was pretty much the only thing I cheaped out on. Other than that, most of the stuff I saved up the money to do it, and this has been a couple years coming for this, to get this. And then, but back to the question to was it a better question to build or buy it? I'd probably say for this, it's completely worth it because I learned a lot from it. And, I wish I could have built it, but there was way too many cords for me to figure out how to actually figure out where it was. I know what the SATA, I know the basics of a computer and which one goes. The SATA goes to the SSD and the hard drive. And to the SATA ports, I know which ones, go into the graphics card, but the more advanced ones that go into the motherboard, I have no idea. So, that's why I had to hand it off to somebody so they could actually do it for me, because I thought I did a lot of research on certain things, which I did, and I've learned a lot about it, but I wish I could have built it, but you know, who cares? It's fine. And then the other issue with building or building your own, building or buying it, is that the warranty, because you're actually the manufacturer of it. So if you call Windows and you have an issue, they'll pretty much turn you down for anything, because you're the manufacturer. They'll immediately ask you if you have an issue with Windows, who's the manufacturer, and if you're the manufacturer, they'll just hang up on you. So be wary about that if you want to build your own. And the last thing to do is, most computers has a cooler. I didn't really talk about that this much. I went for a cooler because a water cooler, because I didn't really want to use a fan, firstly because they're loud, really loud, and secondly because it's a bit harder to take care of them, because a fan's very easy. You just take the glass off and you clean it. But a water cooler, you have to empty it and then put distilled water in it and then put a disinfectant to make sure no mold goes through it. But because it runs so hot, it'll just start making mold because it's moist. But I went for this because there's a bit of an issue with it, but I'll learn more about the computer as I go with this. And that's kind of the whole thing why I got this too, is because I wanted to learn more about computers, and I think I did a very good job as doing it in any way. And I think it worked out well, and my parents thought it did too, so I'm going to go from there. My name's Spencer. See ya.
Good.
So what do you think?
That was pretty good.